live from Los Angeles, California. We're live, Los Angeles, California. Call a friend, call a buddy, call a pal. Tell them that we're on the air live. If you see Donald, tell him I said. If you see Ted Cruz, tell him I said. Understand? We're live from Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles, California, coming to you live. I wish I was at home. I wish I was in Atlanta, Georgia. Told y'all I'm Atlanta born, Atlanta bred. When I die, I'll be Atlanta dead. I am Sherman D. Manning, author of the brand new book, The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. And quite frankly, if you get a copy of that book, you will be reading about Donald and Cruz and all of the political news, because the book deals with politics. It's all about politics, quite frankly. It is about not just OJ, but it's also about the no-J's of life. Race, class, money, and justice. The Truth About O.J. Simpson by Sherman D. Manning is available in local bookstores as well as on Amazon.com. Sales reports are great. And one of the original lawyers on the Dream Team with Johnny Cochran in 95 is still alive. His name is Bob Blazier. He says that it is a great book. He gives it rave reviews, and he said that how the criminal justice system itself, instead of rehabilitating and all the things that by paper the system is supposed to do, this book talks about how the system itself makes monsters, period. You've heard people sporadically refer to the prison system as the monster factory. Well, this book elucidates that in a very diagnostic type of way via the written word. Talks about how the prison system and the entire judicial structure is a monster factory. I'll talk about it more next week, but you need to sign up and get a pre-copy of that book, or prepay for a copy of that book, I should say. Creating Monsters by Sherman D. Manning, myself, will be available probably by Friday of this week, I hope, at latest next Sunday. It'll be on Amazon.com. But right now, you can get my brand new book, just released a month and a half, 2 months ago, The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. If you want to hear about Donald the pedophile and Donald the rapist, as well as Donald the racist, who dares to want to be your president, read that book. If you want to read about Ted Cruz and the bad news associated with Cruz, read The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. Don't be fooled by the title. Don't let the title make you think that it's a book all about O.J. If I really had to grade it, to be quite frank with you, I would say 20% of the book is about O.J. Simpson. The other 80% is about the politics of the 21st century and how that politics plays into the American judicial system and the machinery of death, which is the judicial system and the criminal justice system, and so forth and so on. Get the book. It is a powerful, powerful book according to others. According to me, it is just a book that I gave the best that I have on the inside to write that book. 1 block away from me, a couple of days ago, a man was gunned down. He was murdered. And I said to a news reporter something that I thought I would never say. I said to the news reporter that I just got out of the prison system, a dangerous and a violent system where they send murderers and rapists and molesters and others who have either committed heinous crimes or been accused of committing heinous crimes. And I said to the reporter that I never thought I would see the day that I would say that it's probably safer where I just come from than it is where I was standing on that night when that man was murdered. That's a sick and a sad sight, when a man leaving the prison system thinks it's safer in there than it is in civilian life. Do I want to be back there? Of course not. Am I glad to be free? Yes. Would I rather be home in Atlanta? Yes. Is Atlanta dangerous at times also? Yes. Dangerous everywhere you go. We know that. But it just was, I don't know the word to use for it at the moment. The adjective, which would properly describe how I felt that night. escapes me at this moment. But I felt so bad when I heard 5 gunshots ring out, and I knew that in my mind it was less than a mile away from me, and it turned out that it was less than 2 blocks away from me. I had to get the story from the reporter where I was staying on that particular night. 1 block away, there was a house surrounded by the LAPD, lights everywhere. I saw a Frontline truck roll down the street. Now, Frontline is PBS. What they were doing here, I have no clue. You know me, I tried to get to the area so that I could talk to someone, but was turned away by cops. And KTLA was there and others were there, but finally a reporter indicated to me that it was road rage, that 2 African-American gentlemen were arguing on the road right down the street, and they pulled over, and the other one unloaded several bullets, and the victim died at the hospital behind road rage. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you can hear my voice, let go of the ego. That is one of the major problems I have with Donald wanting to be president. This is a man who is an egomaniac. He is the wrong kind of model for young people to follow. May this victim rest in peace. I pray for his family members and his friends. I really do. God bless them. I'm not making a mockery of him or his situation at all. God bless him. I really mean that. But if I want to be clinical in my analysis, I would have to say to you that ego got this man killed, because 2 men decided, I want to be king of the road, and you ran me off the road, or you almost ran me off the road, or you didn't yield the right of way, or you followed too close, or whatever the case may have been. You know what road rage is all about, and so do I, because quite frankly, I have participated in it myself. Guilty as charged, where I let my ego get in the way, and somebody next to me or behind me, I said to myself, I'm not going to let you make me look bad. I'm not going to let you run me off the road. I'm not going to let you do this. I'm not going to let you do that. And I responded to this person's activity, whatever it may have been, with anger and with ego. And as a result of that, I could have gotten killed, or I could have killed somebody. We have to stop this mess. Man on the street interview. Where are you going, sir? I'm doing a live podcast right now. Where are you going?
Straight ahead and then right.
Straight ahead and then right. Are you a USC student?
No.
Okay, well, you're a nice guy, so you just gave the homeless some money. What made you do that?
If I'm stuck someday, I hope they'll give me money. You know what I mean?
Okay, but wait a minute. I have a flip side of that. Earlier today, there was an older gentleman over there. I'm not going to say his nationality, but I said, are you hungry? He was broke down, and he said, no. I said, what do you want? He said, something to drink. I said, you mean like a soda? He said, no alcohol. I said, I will buy you something to eat right now, whatever you want, but I'm not going to buy you alcohol. He told me to get the F out of his face. Okay. About 15 minutes later, there was another guy. I asked him, I said, what are you doing? He said, panhandling. I said, for what? He said, because I need to buy drugs. So, of course, I didn't give him any money either.
Yeah.
So there's 2 sides to that story.
There's always second, you know? But
yes.
I mean, if the guy walks up from McDonald's and asks for money,
Okay.
I presume he's going to go back and get some food. But
Okay.
if not,
You hope. Okay. And what is your name?
Adrian.
Huh?
Adrian.
Adrian? Are
Yeah.
you German?
No.
What are you?
Polish.
Polish? Okay. And what do you do?
I'm just on holidays here.
Huh? Holidays?
Holidays, yeah.
Oh, where do you live? In Poland?
No, in Ireland.
Ireland. Okay. All right. So how much longer will you be here?
Another week.
Another week?
Yeah.
So what are you doing tonight?
Nothing. I just go
Nothing?
and rest. I've been on Venice Beach today, so.
Venice Beach.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to end the podcast for now. Sherman D. Manning, thank you for joining me live.